Live from Cool Boys Central.
You're the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
From bat tips to bat nips, we are just cool boys revisiting Batman, the animated series, and wearing hats. This is Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast.
I see Batman and Beyond.
Greetings, Cool Boy Bat Nation, and welcome to another installment of Batman and Beyond,
Woo-woo!
a Cool Boys podcast. I'm Ballard.
And I'm Steve.
So cool. Tonight's episode is Cat Scratch Fever, directed by Boyd Kirkland. Story by Sean, Catherine, Derek. I don't know, is that a boy or a girl? I have no idea. You know what, Steve? You probably shouldn't judge, honestly, is what I would say. Don't judge, Steve. Okay?
I'm going with
Teleplay
man.
by Buzz Dixon. And this one came out November 5th, 1992.
Oh, no. It's a woman actress. American writer, story, editor, and actress.
She's got 2 boy names and 1 girl name in that, and they're all first names. She has 3 names, and they're all first names. Sean, Catherine, and Derek. Wow.
She's pretty, has a good, I guess, filmography with the Batman animated series. Did Cat Scratch Fever, Prophecy of Doom, Cat in the Claw, The Forgotten, POV, and Nothing to Fear.
She's done some shit episodes. Those are some shit episodes, dude. All right, well, this episode, that's probably shit, has Roland Daggett and Professor Milo as the villains. Wikipedia says Batman must stop Roland Daggett's plan to release a viral plague designed by Professor Milo into Gotham by way of its stray cat population. And technically dog, if I recall from the episode.
Mm-hmm.
The case gains new urgency. Oh, I like that. When Catwoman becomes infected with the virus during her search for her missing cat, Isis.
Poor Isis.
Poor Isis. Now, Batman must find an antidote to save the woman who loves him most. Wow, that's very telling. I really like that Roland Daggett is the best businessman ever.
They just keep coming back to Daggett, it seems like.
But he's like the most villainous CEO of all time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He is so dark and so fucked up.
He's just trying to figure out the best way and easiest way to make a buck.
All right, well, so this is the second story for Catwoman in the series. Cat in the Claw is a 2-parter, so this is, I guess, technically the 3rd episode for Catwoman. But I love we start off, Steve, right away, and this is something I'm sure you would appreciate, is that we start off with a trial. That we are seeing Selena Kyle on trial for the crime she committed in the episodes Cat in the Claw.
She looks very remorseful.
She looks very hot.
And it is interesting that it's taking place basically after those, directly after that series of events.
Yeah, it's like a trilogy, huh?
And it even mentions that's why she's in trial. You could just have had her just be in trial for that. You know, just for any random thing. But they had it be some sort of continuation.
Yeah, and trials take a long time, so it kind of makes sense that it's taken a while for her character to finally, come to Judgment Day, and her judgment is that she gets parole? Is that right, Steve, or probation? Parole.
They said probation.
Probation? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess, right?
So she just doesn't see any time in jail and just goes straight to probation?
Are you asking me legally if that's something
legally
that could happen? Yeah, people get probation all the time, especially rich people. Or they'll say time served for the time that they were in jail, and then if they don't follow the probation, then they go to jail.
Oh shit! So wait, is parole for only after jail?
When you're paroled, yeah. That's a term for when you go to the parole board and you tell the parole board you have a chance to get released early. for like doing good behavior or whatever, reasons you can get out of jail early for, and the parole board will see you, or you just have a certain time periods where you just see the parole board and you're allowed to have a chance to get out. And if they show that you're not rehabilitated or you're still a risk to society, you stay in jail. Seems like bullshit, but the whole jail system is fucked up.
Boom, boom.
But yeah, I guess I thought this was funny that Maven lost.
Maven's back.
Yeah, and she lost Isis.
I know. She's like, oh shit. Yeah, I think Isis is dead. I'm so sorry. But Selena doesn't believe it, right? So she goes straight to the streets. She hits the corners immediately, looking for Isis.
Like going to the fish market. It's kind of funny.
Well, she's a cat, so she's gonna go try to get some fish or some shit. I mean, we just saw that in the Laughing Fish. We saw the cat come into the house with a big old joker fish in her mouth.
Yeah, and somehow she just gets involved in a plot that's over her head. It's kind of funny. It's a classic story.
Never learns, does she, Steve?
Well, she's trying to do good,
She needs to just shut up.
I like how she like instantly is like hitting on Batman. Like the moment Batman shows up, she's just like, "You're so hot."
So wet.
And all this stuff.
She gets too wet around Batman.
And Batman's all conflicted because he's like, she doesn't love Bruce Wayne, but she loves Batman.
Yeah.
She would love Bruce.
What was the Perchance to Dream, the episode where she's married to Bruce, or going to be married to Bruce? She's like engaged to Bruce. And Batman's like, in Bruce's dream, right? Bruce is watching Batman like doing shit and saving people on the streets. And then Selena runs up and she's like, oh my God, he's so fucking hot. She's like, oh my God. She's like, she's just all over Batman. She just can't help it. And I like that about Catwoman. That's kind of a cool trait of hers.
Well, that was like from the movies. I think they're carrying that over from the movies.
Well, the movie, she's not like gaga over Batman, but I like the idea.
Was. She was all over Batman.
See, because there's definitely like, I'm sure, a woman out there that you would be just immediately like, you just couldn't speak, like some like celebrity, right? Like Scarlett Johansson or something to that effect, right? Like if you saw her in real life and you'd be like, oh my God, you just be like, oh, all stupid and like look like the worst you could ever look, right? Everyone has that. Everyone has someone they're gaga over, right? And I just love that, like no matter what, Selena Kyles is just Batman. She just gets retarded when she's around him.
Very true.
Super hot. It's really hot. Well, we're moving into more of what Steve was mentioning earlier, which is the fact that Selena gets a little bit over her head. And she comes across some hired goons in the alleyway.
Who is it?
Goons.
Who?
Hired goons.
Hired goons?
And these are people hired by Daggett. And Daggett is back up to his smooth corporate ways again. This time he's injecting what, Steve?
They just call it a toxin or whatever.
Yeah, stray animals with toxins.
Yeah, some sort of rabies or something. It seemed like some sort of heightened rabies or PCP. But yeah, I guess Daggett's just always up to no good. Before he was trying to get people addicted to some sort of
such an asshole.
Phase,
yeah, the renew you
stuff. He's just like coming up with all these different ways, like how to get people,
blowing up a whole bunch of low income housing and like destroying all these people's like lives. Yeah,
these writers really don't think businessmen are good people. That's basically the theme of this.
Absolutely, it's definitely the theme
conniving.
Of this. Somebody somewhere's father was like a CEO, and he just hated his dad.
He never came home at night.
Fuck that. Fuck you, Dad. Fuck you. Yeah, Buzz Dixon's dad is, or maybe Sean Catherine Deckard. He was an asshole. Well, at least with Roland Daggett, we do get an incredible voice casting in Ed Asner returning. The late Ed Asner.
I almost feel like that's why they kept using him, is that he's such a great... he's so evil too. He has such a great like angry old man.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So,
but you know what? His voice isn't sexy like Adrienne Barbeau's for Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, And we do get a little delicious Catwoman in this episode. That's for damn sure.
You're so hot. The one thing that it seemed that was interesting was that Batman, his investigation is going to Lucius Fox, and he finds out that Fox does some investigating and finds out that Daggett's been working not on a toxin, but that he's been working on an antidote. And so that's like the key, basically, is that you find out that Daggett is this evil guy that's not just working on some sort of thing to make the strays toxic or whatever it is, or experiment on them. He's like creating an antidote to profit off of everything, which I think you already said.
You buried the lead there, because what Lucius Fox says is that Daggett is coming out with a hot new drug to Bruce. He actually says hot new drug. And let me tell you what, Lucius, you can sell me anything, because as soon as he was like, hot new drug, I was just like, what? What's this hot new drug?
He has his best men working on it. I like that the idea that they have these scientists that could just whip up these things.
Yeah, like Professor Milo.
Mm-hmm. He's just whipping up some sort of crazy toxin.
Doesn't Professor Milo come back in like the Justice League episodes? Oh God, there is. I swear, or they just do a callback to similar animation, but like I swear the character comes up in Justice League, like something to do with like Luther or something like, or like I have no fucking clue what it is, like Project Cadmus or some shit.
I think so. You're right. I'm just looking it up right now.
Yeah, because I just remember that, like, and he's different. He's a slightly different variation on the character. He's not like full on villainous like this one, or maybe I'm mistaken. I'm not sure. Anyways, I do like how, like, the Paul Dini and the Bruce Timm universe, they never forget people.
He appears one more time. Milos appears one more time in Moon of the Wolf in the Batman the Animated Series, and then in Justice League Unlimited in the Doomsday Sanction. So he has.
So it wasn't Cadmus then. Oh wait, was it Project Cadmus?
Yeah, the Justice League one's a Cadmus thing.
Okay, and on the Moon of the Wolf, that's I don't. It rings a bell. What is that? Is that the one where there's like a guy that turns into a werewolf?
Yeah, it says something that he's hired by Anthony Romulus to find a way to increase his performance in the autumn games. However, the enhancements consequently cause Romulus to change into an uncomfortable werewolf.
His name is what again?
Romulus.
Romulus?
Anthony
Awesome.
Romulus.
Of course it is. Yeah, anyone in Cool Boy Nation who doesn't understand that reference, fucking read some goddamn ancient Rome texts. Okay? Jesus. But yeah, I always get was it Night of the Moon or Moon of the Wolf?
Moon of the Wolf.
Yeah, I get that confused with the one with Eye of the Tiger or whatever they call it, where it's another Catwoman episode, and it's like Tigress or something like that, and it's a giant tiger like character. I kind of get those two confused a little bit.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like
Cheetah or something like that.
Yeah, and it's very much like Island of Dr. Moreau, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like she gets turned into an animal, human hybrid or some shit. Sexy as fuck though, man. God damn. Well, so Catwoman goes to go get, her cat from this fucking, whatever, the pound, the pussy pound. And fucking Isis just bites the fuck out of her when she like picks up Isis. Isis needs to chill the fuck out. She cannot be taking those hot new drugs like that and then freaking out. Isis needs to know her limits.
Yeah. Well, that's how you feel?
Yeah, she needs to calm down. You can't be partying like that if you're going to be out of control like that. And then we have, of course, she runs away. She's all fucked up because of the, the bite her cat gave her. She's got cat scratch fever. Sing it, Steve.
Cat scratch fever.
Dun, 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 dun. That's more guitar sounding, I imagine. Yeah, so I like that she's falling down on the road. Batman's about to drive over her with his Batmobile, and he gets out of the car. And Catwoman starts immediately yelling, "Stay away from me! No!" As Batman approaches her. Batman, no means no. stay back a little bit next time. But he doesn't. He goes up to her, right? He's like Catwoman, and picks her up. He goes, "You're hot," and she goes, "Now you notice."
Well, then she's like, she's gone back to her flirty self. At first, she was like, kind of, she didn't know where she was, and she didn't recognize Batman.
She's being taken advantage of, it sounds like to me, Steve.
Is that what you think?
It does not sound good.
I think she was being rescued, and then she was getting back to her kind of normal self for a second when she was becoming like a flirt.
Oh, so you're saying it's her fault. You're victim blaming.
What?
You're victim blaming now.
All right, whatever.
Moving on, I guess. We don't want to get caught into that conversation. All right, well, then we get immediately, of course, a cliffhanger act break, right? Mm-hmm. What is it? It's Batman being chased by a dog. Woo! What a fucking harrowing act break.
I like how Daggett's like, if he doesn't survive, like, Daggett's basically like, if you don't make sure that he's not dead, I'm going to kill you, or something like that.
Yeah. He's a great boss. You know, you're never gonna get threatened, and you're always gonna have job security, and he's never gonna do anything outside the realm of the law. Wonderful boss to have, absolutely. Roland Daggett, Daggett Enterprises, or was it Daggett Industries? I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite thing, Steve, is the newspaper at the end. It's like this crazy thing, like Catwoman's involved in this crazy thing. They found out they're gonna, they were trying to poison everybody with these animals. And then there's a little, like, another article below that with, like, Daggett's face, and it just says Roland Daggett, and he goes, "I'm innocent." and he probably skated on that, He probably got out.
He was the Donald Trump of his time.
I'm innocent. What are you talking about? I'm innocent.
What about innocent till proven guilty?
Yeah, wait, but Steve, wasn't it what episode was it? It was Appointment in Crime Alley, where like he gets caught again, his goons get caught, and he's like, they're like, "Boss, you told us to do it." He goes, "I don't know who you are. Get him,
He knows how to do it.
And the cops are like, "Yeah, he's right. Get him." Mm-hmm. Daggett, he figures it out every time. He knows how to navigate those waters. Something interesting, Steve, I actually kind of thought of when I was watching this episode, back for this episode of our episode of podcast.
Rewatching it.
Is that it reminded me a lot of something you and I, a movie we used to watch together. This one, of course, this is a episode that involves cats and dogs, especially in the third act. We have a dog chasing Batman and Catwoman with her cat, right? So it reminded me of the time we watched The Adventures of Milo and Otis together.
Oh, you mean the time we didn't watch that movie?
What do you mean we didn't? What happened?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh, Steve. I think what you're referring to is the fact that we had a Milo and Otis get-together viewing party, and instead of Milo and Otis, we accidentally played Jeff Stryker's Underground.
You accidentally played?
Did we accidentally play it? I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But you loved it. I do remember you loving it. Mm-hmm. You were into it a lot. Play that audio back now, Johnny.
Johnny. Oh, we got jisms.
The motivation.
Oh, here we go. Someone's getting it on the chest.
Oh, already jisms?
Oh my god.
Guys, so Felk will explain what we're watching by reading the back of Jeff Stryker's Underground DVD case.
No one knows the underground sex scene better than its world-famous legend, Jeff Stryker. Stryker takes us on a shocking journey into more than just his favorite secret sex clubs, but into the very intimate desires and fantasies that make up this complex man of men. In this 7-scene feature, you will witness what you dared not even imagine, including a climactic scene where anything can happen. and Will.
Oh, I gotta see this.
And right on cue. And right on cue.
Oh my goodness.
In VR.
Yeah, I would say
In VR.
I have about another 10 minutes in me.
Don't worry, guys.
I'm
We have
outta
6
here.
scenes left.
And then you're just done.
Yeah, this is only scene
yeah.
1 of 7.
No,
7 feature
after this,
scenes.
Dorn has some questions. We'll just watch this first scene and then we'll see what happens.
And then maybe
I
watch the
feel
first scene
like-
of Milo and Otis, and then
And then
call
we'll
it a
start
day.
Milo and Otis and then turn that off.
Yeah, and then we'll just watch the
He
scenes.
is sweating pretty hardcore.
Just watch-
Oh
It's like when
man.
DVDs first came out. We're like, watch, you just jump to scenes.
Just go to this scene next.
Ugh.
We're gonna put this movie in, and then
I can't handle this narration.
I'm having trouble following the
It's-
plot with the cutting back between these scenes.
I think Jeff owns this club.
Is this supposed to be like his first time walking into this club?
No, I think he
Right.
owns this club.
He owns it?
Oh, that's why he's upstairs.
Oh,
just
he owns
spraying
it.
the orgy.
He owns it.
Have you guys been bareback? I haven't really noticed.
Oh, I haven't noticed
Oh, I
either.
haven't been paying attention.
I don't
I think
think it's
they
been
are.
sex. I think it's just been
Yeah, wait, yeah.
blowjobs.
This is a pre-condom classic, right?
Is it?
Oh, the jizz on the thigh. That's a good one. That's a good one.
He's got a cock ring thing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's fucking yet. I think it's just all blowjobs and touching and feeling.
Look at that limp dick. What's going on there?
Look at the limp dick in the background.
That guy is squeezing his balls really tightly.
You're clicking those things. That's your elbows.
Radio flyers,
The
hot.
armrest.
Oh, it's because I'm like not liking this,
Yeah.
so I'm moving around and
fidgeting.
making noises and fidgeting. So if you don't want me to ruin it, just stop it. You know? Like, I don't know what to say, man. Like Jesus Christ! Like I didn't come here to watch gay porn.
He's got us.
Now you're like you're ruining the sound.
I didn't even communicate with you. I tricked Corey, and that's the only person I've tricked.
I'm not blaming you. I have no.
Oh, yeah. Steve and I know who to blame.
Oh, it's a condom. It's a condom.
Condom.
Classic.
Pop the
Balls.
condom on.
Oh, great. Question answered.
See, I got a huge cock.
Steve, what was your favorite part of Jeff Striker's Underground? Like, what was your favorite part of that experience?
So basically Batman is fighting this dog in a lake, and
He's gonna give him an inhaler of some albuterol.
and they start shooting their gun on this lake that they're standing on. Like it just seems like a real bad situation.
Yeah, and then the dog is at risk of dying too because he could
He
fall.
saves
into
the dog. He goes underwater for like minutes. He really should have probably died of hypothermia. They don't explain. He's just Batman, I guess, but he's down there for a long time.
Maybe he has like a thermal in his
in his suit.
Yeah.
They should have mentioned it because I don't think he just wears it all the time. I guess that's why he has a suit. You know, it's just like. But he gets stuck down there, I think, for a while.
This is a really, really boring like second and third act to this episode. Coming off a really great Act 1 where we're actually continuing a storyline. Like I said earlier, this is essentially a trilogy to Cat in the Claw. This is Cat in the Claw Part 3.
Yeah, it's
almost.
kind of a little lackluster for the.
But then,
the
yeah,
third
the
part.
second act is like a stupid investigation into a pussy pound, and then like, boom, we get into a really dumb third act with a whole bunch of terrible like characters that we don't give a fuck about them as villains
Well,
whatsoever.
Milo, like you pointed out, he comes back. He keeps coming. This is like the introduction of like a, an ongoing geneticist.
He comes back twice.
Yeah.
He comes back only 2 more times.
That's crazy for this character. I didn't think
You're
he was
right.
coming back. I think that's pretty
Because
crazy.
we never see another Lloyd Ventress ever again, we never see another Nostromo. we never see another, Josiah Wormwood. Well, all right. Well, Steve, what do you give this? I gave this 2 out of 5 boys. And I remember not liking this much as a kid either, honestly.
I guess I'd give it like 2.5. I like seeing the relationship of, I guess the grown-up part about this episode is the ongoing relationship between Batman and Selina. So they have that thing going, and how he's conflicted that she doesn't like Bruce, and he even tries to hit on her as Bruce, and she's like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, I just think of you as a friend. And he's like, okay, I accept that. So that there's always that issue that it's kind of interesting. These underlying concerns when you have a dual identity and someone's in love.
That's a great part, Steve, when Bruce is hitting on her, and then he's like, you should just be cool and be nice. And then she's like, I will be. And she's like, and just don't go check out the lab. She goes, don't worry, Selina won't go anywhere near the labs. Like, come on. Come on. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes immediately, and then she goes right against what her probation says, right? And becomes Catwoman again. If she gets caught, she's fucked.
Well, is that if she does anything illegal? But I guess
breaking and entering illegal, maybe? Maybe. Great bat stuff, Steve. Cool Boy Nation. Tune in next week. Same cool bat time. Same cool bat channel. Cool Boy Bat Nation, be sure to let us bat know what you bat thought of Cat Scratch Fever, or what your favorite bat episode is by emailing us at batmanandbeyondcoolboys@gmail.com. New episodes come out every Tuesday. Also, please check out our other great Cool Boy Central content with the Cool Boys podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Patreon. Also, donate to us on Patreon. It only costs $1, and you will receive special access to content too hot to air. You can find the Cool Boys on Patreon at www.patreon.com/coolboyspodcast. Thank you for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Bat Nation. Until next time, it's Byzies from Ballard.
Bye from Steve.
See, I got a huge cock.
So cool.
Batman
and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Batman
and beyond.